As you may know, I'm the author of the bill to end the trade embargo on Cuba. And thank you. Amy Klobuchar, who is the lead in the Senate, and I were down there on the president's visit last month. The first presidential visit since President Coolidge went in the 1920s. Now, I'm not sure if Congressman Nolan was on the Coolidge trip, too. Well, he was on this one. And actually, I found out the only reason that he came along was to make sure that Cuba has no iron ore before he supports a resumption of trade. Yeah. Now, everyone in Minnesota knows that's always the first thing that any Iron Ranger is worried about, and rightly so. Speaking of Iron Rangers, I try to stay caught up on the news here at home, and I know that Senator Tom Bach caught a lot of flack for the new $100 million Senate office building. I told him, it sounds a lot better if you just said it only cost one Jeb Bush presidential campaign. Back to D.C., where things have really been in flux. We've had a lot of shakeups in the past year. Speaker Boehner left the Speaker's chair in Washington altogether. Of course, he had to do this right after I invested in the first ever combination tanning salon smoke shop on Capitol Hill. Not only did John Boehner retire, but a lot of other members have announced their retirements. Of course, we all know our own John Klein announced he is retiring after a great career. After I heard the Klein news, and knowing Ken Martin the way I know Ken Martin, I immediately took Eric Paulson with me to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm proud to announce we are now the first members in the history of Congress to be considered for protection under the Endangered Species Act. This year, I made a New Year's resolution to work out every day that I'm in D.C. Earlier this week, I was going to take a selfie to show all of you my progress, but I was advised that due to some former member, someone named Anthony Weiner, apparently there's been a recent change in policy at the congressional gym, and photos of members are no longer allowed. I don't know why that was so funny.